What have I said all along? What have I said all along? And that's simply drop Dansby Swanson in the batting order, and you're going to see Dansby Swanson do a whole lot better because he's not going to have any of that pressure on him. As soon as Craig Counsell drops Dansby Swanson, he records 4 hits over the last 2 games. What took so long? That's what I want to understand. What took so long, Craig? But seriously, I mean, the fact that Dansby Swanson has 4 hits over his past 2 games, it's a good sign. I think we found Dansby Swanson at home down in the latter half of that batting order, and I truly believe that. Dansby Swanson is a glove first type of player, and he's going to remain a glove first type of player. And anything we get offensively from him will just be, extra icing on the cake, is what I like to call it. So don't expect much out of Dansby Swanson, but the fact that he is, in the 8th hole, possibly 9th hole eventually, you are going to see him get better pitches and stuff like that, right? Because, hey, look, pitchers understand that they have to get these 7th, 8th, and 9th batters out, right? Because the top of the lineup is turning over. So that's why you really see, pitchers come after the players in the bottom half of the lineup and they get better pitches because of that reason. You don't want Dansby Swanson to hit a single, right? Or have a leadoff walk, right? Then John Birdie strikes out or whatever. Then you have Happ and Tucker up next because guess what? Happ and Tucker are very good hitters. It's, even with Seiya Suzuki. So, now the Cubs would be in the driving seat to where they could do a whole lot of damage. But that's enough about that. Let's dive into the game yesterday. Before we start, I almost forgot. Welcome back to the Cubby Perspective. My name's Andrew, and I'm a podcast for the fans and by the fans, baby. Woo! Now, I just want to say I am truly, truly disgusted the fact that the Cubs did not win yesterday's ball game. Really, really disgusted at the fact that they didn't win the damn game. Who is Carmen Mlodzinski? And why did he pitch so good against us? We went over the numbers. Didn't this guy have like a 7 ERA through like 6 starts this season? Oh, but he just completely wrecked us, right? And then old man McCutchen with that clutch 2-run double at the end. Cubs couldn't do anything. Their best relievers out, Domingo Santana or something like that. And now we have to go up against Paul Skeens today, right? Paul frickin' Skeens. That's what I love to see. That's what I love to see. It's always the cardiac Cubs. It's never the lower my blood pressure Cubs. It's never let me sit on a beach drinking a damn margarita, enjoying myself. It's always no, let's drink Fireball and chug it. I don't know if that damn analogy was good there, but the Cubs are the cardiac Cubs. That's what they do. That's what they do to everyone. They make you think that they're a good team, and then they completely take that thought away from you. And then as soon as they take it away from you, they pull it right back. You're like, what the hell, dude? Seiya Suzuki with like 3 or 4 strikeouts yesterday. I forgot which amount it was. I was actually out doing something, and I wasn't actually able to watch the entire game. But when I left, Seiya Suzuki struck out for the 3rd time of the game. And I was just thinking to myself, like, oh, boy, you struck out 3 times against these no-name garbage, minor league, AAA pitchers, right? And now you have to go up against Paul Skeens. What is Paul Skeens? That's another 4 strikeout day. Let me tell you, if you're striking out 3 times yesterday, 3 or 4 times yesterday, believe me, you're striking out the same amount today because Paul Skeens is on the mound. The only hope that the Cubs have for this game is that, our pitcher, right, keeps them at bay, and we get to the bullpen later on because I don't think Paul Skeens is going to give up any runs. He's averaging a strikeout an inning, which is absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, let's just hope that the Cubs can pull this one out today because losing a series to the Pirates would be pretty terrible. Now, I would never, ever in my life talk down upon Kyle Tucker. He's just too good to talk shit about, really. right? But Kyle Tucker has been struggling recently. He's 2 for 20 in his last 20 at bats with a run, 2 RBIs, 1 stolen base, 2 walks, batting 100 with an on base of 182. Yeah. And the last 2 weeks, he's batting 231, right? So Kyle Tucker needs to start picking it up and expect him to pick it up very soon. Maybe not against Paul Skeens, even though he's more than capable of picking up against Paul Skeens, right? But yeah, he's going to have to pick it up because the Cubs need him to be our rock in the lineup. You see how good this lineup is when Kyle Tucker's hitting because you just add so much like oomph to that lineup, and it's so important that Tucker gets going, right? So hopefully Kyle Tucker can get it going fairly soon, and I have no reason to believe why he wouldn't. Matthew Boyd with another great start. Matthew Boyd, 5 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts, a 3.6 ERA, 1.8 whip, which is, no, that's not good at all. The whip needs to, lower. I believe he was giving up base runners every single inning of that game against a lackluster lineup in Pittsburgh, but he did a good job of getting himself out of situations, right? So I am going to say overall good start from Matthew Boyd because he was in line to get the win until, the Cubs didn't get the win. So hopefully, he could lower that whip because his last, 3 actual outings, his whip has been pretty high, but he's doing a good job of, like I said, getting runners or getting out of these jams. Kind of what we saw out of Javier Assad last year, really. His last 3 starts, 1.5 whip, 1.83 whip, and a 1.8 whip. That's just not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it in Major League. That's not good by any means, right? But Matthew Boyd's a professional. He's a very talented, veteran, right? You are going to see these numbers get better eventually throughout the season. So there you have it. Cubs lose the ball game 4-3 in yesterday's bout against the Pirates. Not good, obviously, since Paul Skeens is going today and they already have the lead, right? But we're just going to have to wait and see. It's a long game, so, the Cubs could fire back. Last thing before the video ends, yesterday a Pittsburgh Pirates fan fell over the right field wall. Looked pretty bad, so hopefully he's okay. Thoughts and prayers out to him as well as the fan base and stuff like that because you never want to see someone get injured or hurt, right? So that's just a scary moment in baseball, and hopefully that never happens again. But always keep the faith. Go Cubs. And I am the Cubby Perspective. Thanks.